It was supposed to be a routine overnight flight, one that connected families, business travelers, and vacationers. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. The Boeing 777 carried 239 people from 14 countries. The weather was calm, the crew experienced, and nothing seemed unusual. But less than an hour after takeoff, the plane vanished from radar, and what followed became one of the greatest mysteries in modern aviation history. The night of the disappearance. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 lifted off smoothly. The aircraft climbed to its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. The last words ever heard from the cockpit were calm and professional. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Minutes later, the plane's transponder, which communicates with air traffic control, suddenly went dark. In the blink of an eye, MH370 disappeared from civilian radar. For 17 minutes, there was silence. Then, military radar picked up something strange, a blip that appeared to turn sharply west, flying back across the Malaysian peninsula. The plane was no longer heading to Beijing. It was heading in the opposite direction. Over the next several hours, MH370 seemed to follow a mysterious route, zigzagging across the Andaman Sea before vanishing entirely somewhere over the vast southern Indian Ocean. No distress call, no SOS, no sign of trouble. Just gone. The massive search. What followed was the largest and most expensive search operation in aviation history. Over 26 countries joined forces, deploying satellites, submarines, and aircraft to scan millions of square miles of ocean. But despite all the technology and manpower, nothing was found. Not a seat cushion, not a life vest, not even a piece of wreckage for over a year. It was as if the ocean had swallowed the plane whole. Then, in July 2015, more than a year after the disappearance, a fragment finally washed ashore on Réunion Island, east of Madagascar. It was a piece of the plane's wing, known as a flaperon. Later, other debris confirmed to be from MH370 would appear on beaches in Mozambique, Tanzania, and Mauritius. But the main wreckage, the black boxes, and the truth remained missing. The theories. In the absence of answers, theories flooded the world. Some were logical, others bordered on the unbelievable. 1. The pilot theory. Some investigators believe the captain, Zahari Ahmad Shah, deliberately diverted the plane. His home flight simulator showed similar routes to the one MH370 took before it vanished. But others who knew him described him as kind, professional, and stable, not someone who would harm hundreds of people. 2. The hijacking theory. Others speculated that the plane was hijacked, perhaps by passengers or even by a rogue government, but no group ever claimed responsibility, and no ransom was demanded. 3. The fire or mechanical failure theory. A few experts believe a sudden fire or decompression event could have incapacitated everyone on board, leaving the plane to fly on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. That might explain the eerie silence and final crash deep in the ocean. 4. The military cover-up theory. Then came the darker theories that MH370 was accidentally shot down during a secret military operation or intercepted by another nation. Supporters of this idea point to the unusual radar movements and the lack of transparency during the early days of the investigation. Despite endless speculation, no single theory fully explains every piece of the puzzle. The digital ghost. Thanks to satellite data, investigators were able to reconstruct MH370's final path. Every hour, the plane's system sent an automatic handshake signal to an Inmarsat satellite. a faint digital whisper that revealed its direction. The last handshake came at 8:19 a.m., hours after the plane lost contact, confirming that it had flown until its fuel ran out. Based on those signals, experts believe MH370 ended its journey in the remote southern Indian Ocean, one of the most isolated regions on Earth. But to this day, the wreckage remains hidden beneath thousands of meters of water, a place so deep and vast that even advanced sonar struggles to map it. Thanks for watching. If this story fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world's most baffling mysteries.